Hello everyone, this is Sherry at Soul Conscious Tarot, and this is what you need to know this week. It's a weekly energy reading that is a general reading for everyone. It is timeless, which is why I don't put dates on it. And even though it's what you need to know this week, your week is different from everyone else's week. So when you find this message, there's probably something in it meant for you. You were meant to find it at the time you're meant to find it. So let's dive right in and see what we have in the energy this week. I saw something flip. Yep, there we go. And this right here is the Sacred Forest Oracle deck, by the way. So if you're curious, I'm going to try and say the name of the decks as best as I can and put them, they'll be in the description as well. So we have Earth Spirit Stability here. So there's a lot going on in this card. I'm getting, interesting enough, I'm getting almost like a wishful, like it's a combination that's coming through of like the star energy combined with a little bit of Four of Cups, because I'm seeing these four orbs here, and the way this little fairy is positioned, or this, I guess, is supposed to be Earth Spirit, is positioned on this card, it's actually gives me that, almost like a Four of Cups feeling, but it's almost like instead of regret, there's like this hope, because she's like fascinated by these gemstones, and each gemstone is a different color, and I'm getting that those colors to me almost are, they're almost feeling like chakra energy, like trying to stabilize our, because this is stability, stabilize the energy, trying to balance and stabilize something in our lives. So and we also have the two flamingos down here at the bottom, which almost gives me a little bit of a, for whatever reason, it's giving me a lover's vibe, like in lovers, in the sense of, well, I like that there's two, because it's that balance, like there's this sense of needing to balance something out, maybe with another person, because there's two flamingos here. There might be a need to balance. And we do have, this is the 14 card, which 14 reduced down as 5, and 5 can be a number of instability, so there's this need for stability. There might be a need to stabilize a relationship with these two flamingos coming out down here. But I feel like there's something that needs to be brought into balance here, is what I'm really feeling like. It's like there's a need to ground it, because we have Earth Spirit here and stability. There's a need to ground something, because if we're talking about star energy is a hopeful energy. It's a dreamy energy that's not grounded. It's not grounded in the 3D. It's something that we're hoping for, wishing for. She's hoping for, wishing for, but it's not grounded. It's not yet in, in this reality, where in our day-to-day lives, where we can count on it, rely on it, it's stable, it's there for the long term. So let's go ahead and dive in and see what else we get. I always get our emoji card. If you haven't watched my readings before, we always get an emoji card to kind of help gauge what the emotions, the feelings might be. Interesting. I was told to take that upright. Actually, we're going to put this over here so we have more room. So yeah, I feel I like that energy is coming out with this emoji card, because that actually helps me. It is that hopeful energy. It's a little playful energy. It's hopeful. And I was getting that off of that card. There's this hopefulness there. So I like that this is coming through with there's a positivity to the energy, which is really good, because we want that. We want that, because when we have that hope, and desire for something to happen, we're more likely to put more energy behind it to make it happen. So I like that being there. So let's go ahead. I want to pull, I don't think I did this last week. Actually, we got two that came out. I don't think I did this last week, but I like to pull for the week a crystal to possibly work with if you're inclined to do so. But we have two that came out here, which I wasn't expecting. So let's start with Aztec Gold Greed. Our eyes are bigger than our stomachs, and that we have more curiosity than understanding. We grasp at everything but catch nothing except for the wind. But that's almost exactly everything that I literally just talked about and summed up in a card, in a way, because it is saying, it's talking about, wanting and wishing something, but not understanding how to obtain it, not understand, it's not solid, it's not grounded, it's not in reality. It's still a hopeful, wishful kind of energy that I'm picking up. Even with this emoji card, there's this hopeful, wistful, hopefulness that's there, but it's not, it's like there's this difficulty or this need to ground that and make it stable, make that dream, that hope, that thought, bring it grounded into reality, make it, take the actions necessary to make it happen. However, with this Aztec gold, is saying maybe there's not the understanding, maybe we don't have the understanding, or we haven't been able to grasp how to make that, how to bring that um, into our lives in a stable manner, whatever that thing may be, um, which is going to be different for everyone. It's like there's something maybe that you really are trying very hard to bring into your life in a stable way, that it stays in your life, is a part of your life going forward, but you're having trouble either, making that happen, and for some reason. So say that you want to be a certain weight, but you're struggling with, how do I lose the weight or maintain the weight, or where there's a struggle there, where there's not a pure understanding of how to make it happen in an easy, effortless manner, is what I'm getting. So even if it's a relationship dynamic, it's, which we kind of talked here with the flamingo, that it could be centered around a relationship dynamic where there's maybe there's an issue where you and another person are having trouble connecting and staying in each other's lives, and you're struggling with how do we get past maybe our differences or our schedules or whatever, to make this, like, so that we can, have this be, stable, a stable relationship where it's, where we both are getting our needs met, where there's that reciprocity, that balance. So that's kind of what we're talking about this week. So I hope those are good examples to kind of give you an idea, so that you can figure out in your life where that might apply, where you might be experiencing that. So we have also Tanzanite possibility that came out. Again, it's almost like there's this hopeful energy. There's this star energy that's like behind everything, that's driving this, so there's this optimism. And I like that there's this undercurrent of optimism that is driving this, because when we're optimistic, when we're hopeful, there's a more likely chance that we're going to succeed, because we have that desire, we have that drive to make something succeed, because we're hopeful about it. Our spirits haven't been dashed yet, so we're not in, we're still in that energy of, we can make this happen. It's a positive energy, which I like. Tell me what it is that you plan to do with your one wild and precious life. So Yeah, it really is. This is definitely that star energy, that undertone that I was picking up, definitely off of this card. Everything I've said, just, in that one card has came out in the crystals to support and back that. I love when that happens. I did have another oracle deck. This is Portal to Higher Self, I believe, oracle deck. I wanted to pull this. I always go through all of my decks, and whatever decks call to me to use in the readings, I set them out for the reading. So, oh, two cards there too. Okay. Decks are wanting to speak today. So we have Destined for Greatness. It's your destiny to be so great. It's coded in your DNA. Time to meet your greater self. I love this. That's talking about, look at this. We have the DNA, and it's almost like chakra activation. It's like an activation that's happening. And look at this. It's like the same colors. Like the balls here are like the same colors of the balls here that she's juggling. That is amazing. And that's two different decks with the same kind of, well, this is more looks like crystals, diamonds or whatever, but then we have this one that has the DNA and like the nuclei or whatever. Like this is a core desire. There's something here. I like that this is calling about destiny. So this is something that is destined for us to experience, but maybe we're struggling with how to, as I said before, how to make that happen, how to really ground that and bring it into our reality, bring it into our life. So there's something we desire, because we talked about that star energy, something that we really, really desire, but we're just not sure. There's like this uncertainty, or just not sure how to make it happen. And that's why we might be, I got off of this card, I said the Four of Cups, and the Four of Cups can be an energy of, of kind of almost ignoring that you're so deep in thought, or you're so focused on other things that you miss out on other opportunities that might be being offered to you, or there may be a solution in front of you that you're not seeing. So because she's so focused on those crystals, she's not seeing everything around her. And that's why I said the Four of Cups energy was coming through, not only because we have the four little lighted orbs here, but it's like she's so focused on those crystals that she's not seeing what's around her. And so I think that's the issue here, is that we may not be, our eyes may not be open to seeing all the different opportunities to ground the situation in front of us. And it might be because we don't have the understanding. We need to be a little more curious to gain that understanding. We may need to really open our eyes in a new way, really look around us and really look, try to get out of your comfort zone when it comes to how you look at things. Not necessarily making yourself uncomfortable, but getting out of where the way you normally think. Try and expand your way of thinking. Look at things in a way that you've never looked at them before, because then maybe through that, the solution, the answer will come, is what I'm getting. So we have trust the journey. When you experience stagnation in your life, and this is talking about that, she's sitting still. She's not going anywhere. She's hoping, she's dreaming for something, but there's no action here. There's no action in any of these cards. So there's that stagnation. When you experience stagnation in your life, know it's the next level calling you. answer the call and let go of the old. This is exactly, those tie in beautifully together, because I talked about this being, like something for that we're destined, that's destined to be part of our story in this lifetime, whatever that may be. I may have to, I've got a lot of cards here, so let me see if I can, I think the way I'm going to do these is put these up here, because I pulled a lot more cards than I anticipated. And then we'll put our tarot down here, because we're going to go ahead and go into our tarot and see what comes through. But I think that gives a good idea of setting the story of what's going on this week. What do we need to know? Well, what do we need to know? That there's something that's destined to be in our life, that's meant to be in our lives. Now, just because something is meant to be in our lives doesn't mean that it will come to fruition, because we all have free will and we all make choices each and every day. And we talked about this is, this Aztec gold, which is fool's gold, where we want something, but we may not know how to get it. And that's what, there's the possibility there for something that we want or something to happen. There's this awakening happen to a desire. That's what I feel like. There's this awakening to a desire within us for something. And that awakening for that desire for something, right now it might be, our eyes may be bigger than our ability to be able to bring whatever that hope and dream is into fruition, into reality, into our day-to-day lives, and make it a reality, is what I'm feeling. Like there's this unknown of how to go about bringing something into our reality, how to make that happen. So say like you want to telework, but you don't know, possibly don't have the skill set or understand how to get a telework job. Well, now you're going to have to, maybe you've only been taught that these are the only type of jobs that are out there. Like, how do I go about doing that? Maybe you don't have the right skill set for those type of jobs. And maybe you don't know where to even start to go about that. And so it's finding the resources and tools to be able to figure out how to make that happen. So this is kind of like that stage before the planning stage or the action stage, where something has just came in our mind as far as a path forward, a thing that we want, a thing that we desire, but we're not sure how to go about it yet, is what I feel. And I think this has just been like, recently there's been something in our lives that is pulling us in a direction. There's something that we really, really want, but we're just like, no matter how hard we try, it's just not happening for us. Okay. So that's how you're going to know what this is. And so hopefully we get some answers and some advice here as far as what steps can we take to maybe bring this into fruition? What kind of advice can you give us in steps to take, maybe to help bring to ground whatever this dream, this hope, this wish is into reality? What's that one? Okay. We have the Ace of Swords, getting real. And the Ten of Cups. Awesome. I'm going to do this a little bit different. I'm going to spread these out this way, and I'm going to put the two cards, I think, on either side of each card, just because we have so many oracle cards on the table. I want to make sure we can get everything on here. One more card, please. So this again is Ten of Cups is what we hope and desire, but we have it again, it's not a grounded energy. And so it's seeing the truth of that, seeing that how do we go about this? How do we go about this? Oh, too many, but it wants that one. Okay. It slid all those off so that it could pop that one out. Okay, the Seven of Cups, which is not only can be confusion, but also opportunities. So that, there's always all these choices, but when we have a lot of choices, that can lead to confusion. Okay, so let's go ahead and clarify these, because we're talking about getting real. I like that these two cards came out, the Ace of Swords and the Seven of Cups, actually around, this Ten of Cups being the central energy, because this is exactly what we talked about here, where there's this dreamy star energy. There's this desire to have something in our lives. This is, wishing upon us, to wanting this happy family life, having this, but it's not grounded in reality. It's something that we're wanting, we're hoping for, we're wishing for. It's a lifestyle that we're wishing for. And it says, what do you plan? Tell me what it is you plan to do with your one wild and precious life. So it's like, this is our plan for our life. This is what we want our life to look like. And that may be, it may be a certain type of job, working from home, working for ourselves, or it could be, who we have in mind for a partner, who we want to partner up with and spend the rest of our lives with, because that's what we see for our life going forward. It's something we want to bring into our life that's going to stay in our life for the long haul, but it's not here yet. It's that, it's that energy of it's still in that dream state. It's still in that imagination stage. It's not into our reality yet. And then we have this card of Seven of Cups, which is this confusion, it's choices. And so with the Ace of Swords, I love the Ace of Swords coming out, because the Ace of Swords helps us see. It helps us cut out, helps us eliminate the choices, or there's this need to eliminate the confusion around how to make this happen. I love this. I also like the fact that the sword, the way it's sitting here, like it's covering one eye. It's like it's trying to gain focus. It's trying to gain clarity, and really focus on something. And then we have this spark there of activation, of illumination, of understanding that we were talking about. I think it was, this card, that having that we have more curiosity than understanding, and it's grasping at things. And this is definitely, like this Seven of Cups is that grasping at things, not understanding, not the confusion, not understanding the way forward. We're curious, but we don't know the way forward. We don't know how to go about and make something happen. And this is helping us do that. I like that the Ace of Swords is coming out, because that's saying, that's helping us narrow, helping us try and find, it's like turning the dial to try and find the right station, so that the message comes, the way forward comes through nice and clear. We're going to use the Witch's Tarot. This was a seasonal Fox Tarot, by the way. And this is the Gemstone Whispers Oracle, the gemstones there. We have the Nine of Swords. It's bringing us anxiety. How do we go about this? We always have that stress and anxiety when we don't know how to do something, when we don't know how to make something happen. And then we have the Seven of Wands on that as well. But there's that need, there's like, I like that. That's that drive and determination to want to make this happen. There's still that fight in us to make that happen, even though it's stressful, even though it's like, it's that, it really is that energy of kind of, when you're almost like frustrated, like that's what's coming through with this. It's like, I gotta figure this out. And it's like, you're so tight and tense and frustrated. I gotta make this happen. I gotta figure this out. This has to happen. It's like that frustration, that I've got to do this. I've got to figure this out. That's what that Ace of Swords, it's like, I got to figure out the answer. I got to figure out how to make this work, because it's something that I really desire and I really, really want. So look at that. We have, and stability. The card of Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is nothing but stability that ties back here, which is just a confirmation of that trying to stabilize this wishful thinking, this dream, this desire. We're trying to stabilize it. We're trying to bring it down into our lives, make it a reality, make it part of our lives, make it part of our day-to-day. How do we do that? How do we incorporate this and make it a part of our life so that it stays in our life, and it's a part of our life going forward? It's trying to make that 10 of Cups into the 10 of Pentacles. It's trying to bring it into reality and make it tangible, bring it out of the dream state, the illusion state, the imaginary state, and ground it in reality. Bring it from the 5D down to the 3D. That's what we're trying to do. Nothing's popping out yet. Come on. Got lots of cards that are thinking about it, but not the right. Come on, give me a card. My decks are kind of erratic today. They're really cooperating in a different way than they normally do. And there's the key. Doing something different than we normally do. Thank you. That's the advice. Doing something different than we normally do. The decks were speaking, just in a different way. Come on. Which one do you want? This one? Both of them. Okay. That's why it was fighting me. It wants both. So we have the 8 of Cups and the Chariot card. So this is telling me in order to bring this, to make this stable, to make this 10 of Cups stable, to make it grounded, 4 of Wands, to make it grounded, to be able to move forward, there's something we need to let go of, a way of thinking, a way of doing things. There's something that needs to, I'm getting strongly that it's a way of thinking. And the reason I say it's a way of thinking is because I'm drawn back here to the Ace of Swords, and swords is mental energy. So it's a way, it's a way of thinking, that we're thinking that we can't, or that we're not clear. Like there's, in our mind, like even in our heart, we desire it. In our mind may be blocking it, especially when we have the 9 of Swords over here, where we may be self-sabotaging our ability to ground this. So keep that in mind, that it might be just something mentally, it's a mental block that's keeping us from having this, whatever it may be in your life, that it might be something that, some kind of programming or mental belief that we've been conditioned. Like maybe we've been, we grew up in a household that didn't believe that you could be an entrepreneur, that you could be successful working for yourself and having your own company, or maybe you've never been taught those things, so you don't have that belief that you can make it happen. You don't believe in yourself that you can be an entrepreneur and start your own business. It's just an example, or maybe there's this belief that that you can't have a successful a successful loving relationship, and so you self-sabotage your relationships because they're in, like, deep down subconsciously you don't believe that you can have that. And that's what I'm getting here, is that energy of there might be something, a way of thinking. And that's why we talked about kind of stepping out of our normal frame of mind, our normal way of looking at things, and try to expand our viewpoint, expand the way we see things. Maybe find a way to get past ourselves in our own limiting beliefs, okay? Because that's what it's telling me here. It's a limiting belief that is holding us back, that's keeping us. See, she wants to walk toward her 9 of Cups. She's wanting to walk toward what will eventually be her 10 of Cups. But to do that, she's got to walk away from the 8 of Cups. She's got to walk away from something that's currently in her life to walk toward what it is in this, with the Chariot coming out, to run run toward it. And I love that the chariot's coming out here, because the chariot is usually talking about something that is meant for us, something going after something that is more spiritual in nature. We talked about that activation of destiny, of something that is meant to be in our lives, and moving toward something that is meant to be for us, that's meant for us, the life that is meant for us, moving toward that with that chariot energy, taking action to move toward it. But to do so, this is telling me you can't move forward until that limiting belief, that limiting thought pattern is removed, until we walk away, until we get past that. So that's the advice. And then we will start getting clear on, these unknowns, the confusion. We'll start understanding what the choice is, what we need to do. We'll be able to get our mind straight and really be able to focus, to get ourselves into focus, get ourselves into alignment. We talked about alignment up here. Oh wait, it keeps wanting to give me all kinds of cards here. Okay, actually this is telling me, this is interesting. No, okay. Do you want, no, those are the two cards for that. Thank you. Okay. So, this is the two cards for it, but we talked about this. She's wanting to go toward our 9 of Cups, but we have confusion around what that is, or how to make this. I love this. Thank you. Because this is the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is the start. It is for me, trying to figure out how to bring something. It's like that beginning of trying to figure out how to start a habit, like how to make the plan. It's the card of the student. It's trying to understand. And again, it's going back under saying that we need to have more understanding about something and to make it a reality. And that's what I love the Page of Pentacles coming in here, because that's what this is. That's that energy. The Page of Pentacles is that energy of trying to understand how to formulate a plan and how to make something a reality, even though we don't understand how. We're a novice at it. We're a student. We don't really fully grasp the concept of how to make it work, how to make it happen. So that's what the page, that's why it's a page, because it's like we want to stabilize it. We want to bring this into our lives. We want to make it tangible, but we're not exactly sure how to go about it. But there's that desire to try and figure it out, try and figure out how to make it a reality. It's like if you're on a diet, trying to figure out how, what's the plan? What's the plan for making, for me losing weight or whatever? Am I going to count calories? Am I going to do this type of diet? Am I going to cut these foods out? Am I going to exercise more? It's formulating that plan, trying to figure out the plan. And that's what this is. The card is, it's trying to figure out the plan to move the Chariot. And both of these cards are about moving toward our 9 of Cups. And we have to get to our 9 of Cups to get to the 10 of Cups, because we've got the 8, the 9, and the 10 here on the board, and the 7. So we have this like progression and, of going through confusion to trying to realize there's something that's keeping us from understanding, from making a plan of action. And once we can get past that limiting belief or thought pattern that is keeping us from putting a plan in place and believing in ourselves that we can make this happen, or really seeing how to make it happen. Once we get past that, we can move toward our 9 of Cups. We can kind of get that clarity and get in the Chariot and move toward the 9 of Cups, which 9 of Cups is a wish fulfillment card. This is like lesser arcana of the star, which is interesting because, we we kind of go back to the beginning of that where we talked about, I felt that star energy, and we have the Nine of Cups, which is the lesser arcana of the star. So this is telling me that even though this is something that's meant to be in our lives, it's not like a do or die, like it's gonna, if you don't do this, that it's going to be the end of your world and the end of your life. This is just something that's meant to be in our lives, but it's like it's something that we desire, something that we want, but it's not going to make or break us. It's not going to, because we all have free will. We can live the life that we choose to, but this is something that was meant for us, that the universe wanted us to have. But what this is telling me, whatever that thing is, that we're kind of standing in our own way to keep us from having that in our lives, whatever that may be, a certain way of living, a certain person in our lives, where we have this relationship. And it doesn't have to be like a particular person, but a type of relationship, or a type of job, it's something that is meant for us as far as the way we're living our life. So whether that be, okay, to have the freedom to travel more, or to, like I said, have a stable partner in our life, or a loving partner, or whatever. It's because it's not necessarily like, when it comes to a relationship, it's not a specific person, it's an energy. It's having someone in your life that's loving and stable, or whatever dynamic that you're looking for, whatever that is, and the same goes for a job or anything. It's a lifestyle. Thank you. It's a lifestyle. That's what this is talking about. There's some type of lifestyle that you're wanting that you don't have, whether that be, like I said, to eat a certain way, to have a certain type of job, to have a certain type of freedom, to have a certain type of relationship. There's some type of lifestyle that we're desiring, that we're not being able to bring into fruition, that we're trying to figure out the hows to do that. But what the universe is telling me through these cards is that there's a way we're thinking, a way we're going about it, or the way we're thinking about it, the way we've been taught, or the fact that we don't believe we deserve it for whatever reason, that is holding us back from moving forward and making that a reality. We don't understand the plan. We still haven't, once we understand the plan, and that's what this is talking about, gaining that understanding. There's this need to gain understanding. Even with the Ace of Swords, there's a need to gain understanding, but we're struggling with that. With the Nine of Swords coming out, we're really struggling with trying to figure out, how do we narrow down, how do we lessen the confusion, how do we find the way to make it happen. That's really, there's just this, I don't know how to make it happen. I keep trying, but it's just not happening. But that right there is a limiting belief. It's a knocking yourself down before you start, because you don't know how. So it's like, I like with the Page of Pentacles, because it's coming in here, because it's saying, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to figure out, amongst all these ways of doing it, I'm going to try and figure out how to formulate a plan to make this happen. I'm going to keep looking until I figure this out. And there's this hopeful energy that I said that I like. There's this optimism that's driving this, that we haven't got where we feel defeated yet. So I like when there's an optimistic energy, there's that drive and desire to kind of try and find a solution, to try and find an answer, to try and fight for what it is that we want, to fight to try and find a solution, to try and find the way forward. I love this. A beautiful reading. So I hope that this resonated with you. I really hope that it did. There's a lot that came out in this message. There were a lot of synchronicities and double checking things that that basically were confirming things that I said. So I really feel like this reading is definitely on point. So I hope that you got a lot out of it, and it does, it helps you in some small way. Thank you so much for joining with me this week here at Soul Conscious Tarot. I do appreciate each and every one of you taking the time that you do to show up for me in the way that you do. It means so very much to me. And if you feel moved to do so, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, leave any comments that you wish to leave. All of that, of course, just helps my channel. It also shares your energy with me so that I can pick up on it for future readings, where the readings might be a little more geared to you. There's no definites on that, because whatever energy comes through that universe wants to talk about is what comes through. So thank you so much again. I wish you the very best. Harmony and gratitude to you this week.